Okay, so day 2 of CSS. You should have the code I gave you originally for the table. And you should have made it through, I think we made it through this. It depends on what class period you might be in. We might not have gotten quite this far, but if we didn't, you can go ahead and copy what you see on the screen for maybe the div and the paragraph. One thing we learned how to type in a font. And that's important because your keyboard must be in the US version to get these quotation marks. So make sure down by the time on your Chromebook that it says US and you're not in the INTL version. You're not in international keyboard. That was a big concern. And we learned how to do hex codes. Those would be these color codes using our color picker in video 1. And we used some basic coding for color, which was the hex code, or we did words, which we did for the paragraph. We just typed out the words for color. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start our new section, which is, for me, I'm going to put this little note here just so I know this is where I started day 2's video. You don't have to do this part. I'm just doing that for me so I know where I'm at. I'm going to do the H2 with an open bracket, so make sure it's H2. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and look at my answer key. I think we did font size. And I think we set it to, let me go check. I'm going to open up my old project just so I can see what I need to do. Okay, I'm going to copy this from here, just these two, so I can paste it over where we are. We're going to do color and font size, actually. Didn't realize color was first. You're actually going to do the same exact color that I do, so make sure you copy that hex code this time correctly. It's right there. It should show up on your screen, looks like this. Okay. The next thing we're going to learn how to do is a Google font. So Arial was a font that was web safe that our computer just knew. Now we're going to practice how do I take a font that my computer does not know. So font, Google fonts into the internet. I'm going to go to that website. And the first font we're looking for is called, well, actually, I should say the first thing you do is make sure there's nothing in your shopping bag. So if there's something in there, you can remove everything. If nothing's in there, then you should see you don't have any fonts yet. Okay, so I'm going to go back to fonts, and we're going to search for one called Alumni, and it's the collegiate one right here. Okay, we're going to click on Get Font, Get Embed Code. Notice now it's in my cart. We want this whole first section of code, copy, come over to this. And if you noticed on fonts, it said this is HTML code and it goes in my head tag. So switching files to our index, okay. And we're going to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and go up to line 3. Put our cursor at the end, hit enter so that a new line 4 opens. Don't delete anything. Super important that you don't mess with anything else. Go ahead and Control V to paste. Okay. Come back to Google Fonts. Come down to the second box. The only line you ever want from the second box is the one that reads Font Family. Copy it. Come back to your code. We're going to go to our style, and we're going to paste it right on that line. At that point where you've done both parts, the HTML and the CSS, you should have a new font there. And to make it look regular, we're going to put font weight of 400. Spell weight right. That's why the predictive text is so nice, and we want to choose 400, semicolon to end. Make sure you're always double checking that you have your semicolons and you have your spellings correct. That is something during the final project that I would take off points if you're calling me over to double check that kind of work. If you're like, my code's not working, and I come over and it's like, because you haven't put semicolons, that's something easy for you to check. Spelling, semicolons, those things are easy for you to see. Enter. The next ones for this, I'm just going to copy and paste so you can see them. This should be pretty easy. It's a margin and a text line. Okay. What the margin is going to do, we did a negative margin. So you can see it pulled it down, lessened how much space was between the schedule and the words my schedule. And then we text aligned it so those words moved to the center. Okay. Go ahead and enter. Okay. And our next one is the H3. Oh, that's not what we wanted. Oh. These two are easy. These should be review. Okay. So creating the section of CSS by opening the selector, H3 open, font size 50 pixels. We want a color from your color picker, so go ahead and use your dropper tool. What that is changing, the H3, is changing my top 5 favorite books. Okay. And it's also changing what is your favorite book. Okay. We're going to go ahead and come here. We're going to go ahead and add a new font. So coming back to Google Fonts, shopping bag has something in it. Click on it. Remove all. Remember, we said you have to start fresh. Browse the fonts. This one is going to be Play Right Space AU Tasmania. Playwright Australia Tasmania. Get it. Embed code. Copy whole first box. Come up to my index. Okay. Coming right here. Enter after line 3. Paste. Coming back to Google Fonts. Line. Font family from the second box. I think it's this one. Oh, no, that one's already the answer key. Going to right here. Control V to paste that one and close the bracket for me because I had deleted that. And you should see that that font family is now top 5 favorite books. And what is your favorite book should be highlighted in that font. And that should be it. Save and refresh. And that's what we accomplished today.